Have you ever had one of those days, or maybe weeks, where you just feel like a passenger in your own life? Like you're just being carried along by the whims of circumstance. One minute everything's fine, and the next, bam, a storm you never saw coming is just raging all around you. It's a feeling we all know, that sense of being tossed around by things that are completely out of our control.
And it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Are we just trapped by our circumstances, destined to just react to whatever life throws our way? Or do we actually have a choice in how it all goes down? Is there some hidden space where our freedom truly lives?
To really dig into this, let's use a metaphor. Picture this. You are a gardener. You've poured your heart into your garden, tending to it, watching it grow. But then, out of nowhere, this brutal storm just rolls in. The wind is howling, rain is lashing down, and you feel totally powerless to protect what you've worked so hard to create. That feeling? Right there. That's where our story really begins.
Now, to help us understand what's happening, some ancient Eastern wisdom gives us this incredible framework. It's all about two key forces. First, you've got Prarabdha. Think of this as the weather. It's the external situation you're handed. It's fixed. You can't do a thing about it. But then you have your samskaras. This is like the soil of your garden, your internal world. And this is where your power lies, because you can always change the soil. So let's look a little closer at Prarabdha. The classic way to describe it is the arrow that has already been shot. It's the karma that's already in motion, playing out right now. These are the big, unchangeable things in your life. Your genetics, where you were born, the major events that happen to you. It's really just the hand of cards you were dealt. No changing it.
But here's the game changer, your samskaras. Think of them like the deep grooves on an old vinyl record. They're your ingrained habits, your default reactions, your mental and emotional patterns. They determine the quality of your inner soil. And yeah, those grooves might be deep, but the beautiful thing is you can always carve a new one.
And that leads us to a really crucial question. The exact same storm, the same Prarabdha, can hit two different gardens. So why is it that one garden seems to thrive, soaking up the rain and getting richer, while the other just turns into a soupy, muddy mess? Well, it was never about the storm. It was always about the soil.
For most of us, this is how it plays out, completely on autopilot. An event happens, the storm of Prarabdha hits, instantly our internal patterns, those old samskara grooves, get triggered, and before we even know it, these weeds of anger, fear, or anxiety just shoot up. The result? Our inner garden suffers, not really because of the rain, but because of our programmed reaction to it.
This automatic reactor, what some of these texts call the doer and enjoyer, it's not actually who you are. It's a kind of false I, a personality that's been built up and conditioned by your mind's patterns. It's that part of you that immediately says, I am angry, or I am a failure, and it mistakes that fleeting thought or feeling for your entire identity.
But here's the big pivot. This is the turning point. What if you stop identifying with the weeds, with the anger, the anxiety, all those passing thoughts? What if you realize your true self isn't the reaction, but the one who has the power to choose the response? What if you're actually the gardener?
You see, a conscious gardener gets it. They know a fundamental truth. You cannot fight the weather. Trying to stop the rain of Prarabdha is just exhausting and pointless. So instead, the wise gardener turns their attention inward. They focus on the one and only thing they actually have control over, the quality of their soil. So, how do we actually do this? Well, we use the gardener's tools. It all starts with awareness, just noticing what's going on in your head without judging it. From there, you get separation, that powerful moment of recognizing, hey, I am not this thought, I am not this emotion. This leads you to the witness state, where you become this neutral observer of your own mind. And that creates a tiny, precious bit of space, a pause between what happens and how you react.
There's a perfect metaphor for this. Your true self is like a vast, clear, unchanging screen. All your thoughts, your emotions, your moods, they're just clouds passing by. They can't stain the screen, they can't change the screen, they just pass. Getting this, really getting this, is the key to everything.
And the effect of making this shift? It's huge. Just look at the difference. An automatic reaction to some challenge in your life, well, that leads to high stress and pretty much zero growth. You just dig those old painful grooves even deeper. But a conscious response, one that's born in that little moment of awareness, it totally lowers the stress and turns the exact same event into a massive opportunity for growth.
This changes your entire experience of reality. You go from this feeling of, my reactions are me, where life just feels like it's happening to you, to a whole new reality of, I am aware of my reactions. You're no longer in the passenger seat.
You realize you are the one who happens to life, actively choosing how you show up for it.
And what's incredible is that all of this power, this whole transformation from feeling like a helpless victim of the storm to becoming a conscious gardener, it all comes down to one single thing: your ability to find and use that one moment of choice, that little gap that exists between the stimulus and your response. That's it. That's where all your freedom is found.
And if you practice this consistently, something pretty miraculous starts to happen. The same rain, the same Prarabdha, the same difficult life challenges that used to create a muddy disaster in your garden, it starts to become nourishment. Your well-tended inner soil soaks it up, and your garden begins to flourish not in spite of the storms, but actually because of them.
So we end right back where we started. The storms of life, the weather of Prarabdha, they're never going to stop. That's a guarantee. It's a fundamental part of being alive. So the only real question left, the one that you and only you have the power to answer, is this: how will you tend your garden?